reaction, y'all.
Reaction comedy.
Comedy, reaction, comedy, reaction. Good evening, all. How's it going? Welcome to another episode of Reaction to Comedy. I'm your host, Legendary, the Magic Man. I'm trying nicknames here. I don't know. You guys can think of one for me if you want. I'm just saying magic because that's what they used to call me in Australia because they didn't know how to say magic. Anywho, please follow me and subscribe on my YouTube channel at Legendary, and you can follow me on my Instagram page, which is at famefilmagency.com. At famefilmagency and at Fame's Comedy Spot BH. Ooh, that was a mouthful. Anyway, tonight's reaction is going to be of a very interesting piece of comedy, and very funny and very British. And when you think British, you think of the two of the greatest British comedians, Benny Hill and Rowan Atkinson. These are the first two names that always pop up. Well, tonight we're going to be focusing on Rowan Atkinson. Rowan Atkinson Live, a show that he did, I think, back in 1989 or 1990. Can't remember which year exactly, maybe even 91. However, we all know that he's very famous for his Mr. Bean, but he's done so much more before, during, and after Mr. Bean. So I want to show you a side of Rowan Atkinson where you get to see a different side of him. It was a live performance in Boston, Massachusetts, and this particular sketch he did is called Pink Tights and Plenty of Props. That was the name of the sketch. It's basically somebody narrating what about in medieval times, and Rowan Atkinson plays the characters mentioned in the narration. So, get ready because this is pretty amazing. All right, and let's get to it. I think you're gonna really enjoy this. So let me just maximize the screen. Here we go. Pink tights and plenty of props.
Good morning, everyone. Settle down now, please. Now, as you may know, we were hoping to have Mr. Jeremy Irons with us this morning, talking to us about the art of acting in the cinema. Unfortunately, Mr. Irons has had to cancel due to an unforeseen awards ceremony. But I have been able to procure the services of a local actor, Mr. Bernard Hupper, who was luckily not busy. So it's my pleasure now to read for Mr. Hupper as he illustrates his own lecture on Shakespearean acting entitled The Actor's Art.
Just look at that face expression. I have to pause it. See, this is when you know these are one of these moments when you notice that you are witnessing something great. You know, the man hasn't said anything yet. Rowan Atkinson hasn't said anything yet. All he did was bring a chair. He played the music from the tape, bring a chair, and just standing there. His body language, his facial expression, the reaction to the guy narrating, looking at him, not knowing what to expect, and that little awkward silence between the two, which heightens the laughter, heightens the comedy. I mean, that is, you can't write that. You cannot write that. That is just something that is self-expressive. You think, is it an accident? No, I don't think so. They expect this response? Again, I wouldn't know, but it's just so pure genius.
So, The Actor's Art by Bernard Hupper. At the centre of the Elizabethan world sits the king. Upon the character of the king depends the plot, and so there are many different kinds of king. The benign king with a physical defect. king. The evil king. The evil king hatching a plot. The mad king hatching an egg.
One also has to consider the sound guy who's playing those pieces of music at the exact right timing. That's impeccable. You can just see how much rehearsal, how much work was put into this to make it this perfect. It's amazing stuff. And Rowan Atkinson is like he's in a world of his own. When he was hatching that egg, you actually saw. I know you're seeing him making the gestures, but you can actually see the frying pan, see the egg being tossed up in the air, the way he's the way he's mimicking and improving and all that kind of stuff. It is truly amazing, and I love how there's always that little awkward pause between the narrator and the actor, and the way they look at each other. That's that's a very good extra touch.
An important part was also played by messengers, distinguishable into many different types. A messenger enters bearing good news.
How they put that music in so perfectly. That walk
Messenger
away.
enters bearing bad news. A messenger enters bearing indifferent news.
Perfect. The music, the soundtrack, perfect. Look at that look on his face.
A messenger enters bearing bad news, which he thinks is good news.
Look at that.
Death came swift and often in this brutal world. Death could come at the hands of a total stranger.
Whatever.
Or it could come at the hands of one's closest friend.
You got betrayed.
Poison was particularly popular, applied to the frothing cup of ale of the unsuspecting victim. First, we look at the simple poisoning kill.
I remember that.
And then the villain attempting to use poison.
When you get like an applause and you're not even finished through your act and you're getting an applause, that's when you know you've made it. Whether it's a sketch or a stand-up, whatever, when you get an applause like that, that's when you know what? I got the crowd. They're mine. I made it.
But in the end, all these were merely devices, amounting to nothing whatsoever without the plot. At the center of the plot stands the hero, who is king. He has a twin brother. who is a villain with a physical defect.
Oh, the physical
War
defect.
comes and the hero must lead his men into battle. At the gates, the hero's mistress waits to bid her lover farewell.
I love his facial
And the
expression.
villain's mistress bids her lover farewell also.
that walk away with his head.
The war rages on for many years. Until at last a messenger arrives bearing the bad news of the death of the hero. So the villain becomes king. But the message was wrong. And years later the hero returns.
I just love the way he gives the finger. It's like, yeah, fuck all you. Oh, God.
In disguise. Revealing his identity to the audience by means of a surreptitious wink.
Oh, my God.
But his brother, the villain, recognizes him, and they fight. Finally, the villain is mortally wounded. He dies.
He doesn't want to hurt his knees again.
Character.
That finger.
Our hero wins his rightful throne and celebrates with a frothing cup of ale found by the side of his brother's throne.
You know, I spotted a mistake. It's not a major mistake because earlier you got to see him drinking from an actual cup. Now, whether they misplaced the cup or whatever, it didn't faze Atkinson. He just picked up an imaginary cup, you know, because even though he had it as a prop, but he just picked up an imaginary one and he went with it, and it was great. Oh man, this. Again, this is one of those sketches. It's one of those sketches that if you read it, you'll be like, is this funny or not? You know? I've got ideas. There's something I can do with it, sure. But how can I make it funny? And it all came down to simple... not simple. It all came down to Atkinson creating these types of characters, portraying these types of characters. You know, he's got that genius comedy mind, you know, the whole thing with the physical defect and, you know, all different types of king and the villain, how he gave a different character to each one of those roles is simply amazing. And he goes back to his original character, which is the actor who looks like he's shy and embarrassed for doing it, but still wants to maintain his professionalism and do the show, and that awkward moment he has with the narrator. I mean, all that put together, that is really astonishing. I mean, how they pulled it off is truly amazing. And, you know, this is one of the very, 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 very few of the great work Rowan Atkinson has done. I mean, I highly recommend anybody who's a fan of Rowan Atkinson, or if you're a fan of comedy, stream or download Rowan Atkinson Live. That's what it's called. There's at least maybe, 8 or 9 sketches in there, little plays, and they are all funny. They are all hysterical. I just picked one at random. I just picked that one that I remember making me laugh the most, and it was this one, Pink Tights and Plenty of Props. So thanks for joining me, guys. I appreciate it. Watching something British, you know, got to make a British accent. All right, so again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Magic and Dairy, and I got 2 Instagram pages at Fame Film Agency and Fame's Comedy Spot BH. Join me next time on Reaction to Comedy, and I hope you had a good time, guys, and see you next time. Yeah, reaction, y'all. Reaction to comedy. Comedy, reaction, comedy, reaction, reaction.
Yeah, I know you guys got my back. I'm more terrified of that white guy over there.